Well, welcome. Happy New Year. I'm Eric, and I want to talk a bit about what's coming up for this channel in 2022. First of all, Commander's Beacon is just over a year old now. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from you guys about the unconventional commander decks that are kind of one of the big focal points of the channel, and that's been really inspiring. So thanks everyone who's left, some positive feedback on the YouTube channel. There's also a lot of work that needs to be done to continue to grow the channel and produce higher quality content. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. So first we'll talk about the most immediate short-term goals of 2022. These are things that should happen pretty quickly this year. And then I want to spend some time talking about some of the goals that I want to get to later this year and beyond 2022 as well, if everything goes well. Okay, so let's start with the short-term goals. These are things I'm looking to implement really soon, so probably within the first quarter of 2022. And the first one is a Discord server, for a couple of reasons. First, I'm trying with this channel to invent new ways to play different commanders or just different deck strategies that hopefully, that you won't be able to find in any other places. Unfortunately, though, I'm just one person, and sometimes I miss things. I'd really love to be able to discuss some of these unconventional deck ideas with people before making the content, just to ensure that whatever I'm making is the highest quality possible. Secondly, I'd like to be able to play more games. To be honest, I just don't get to play Commander as much as I would like, which means that some of my builds have not been play tested as thoroughly as I would like. And so that's another reason I want to set up a Discord server to help coordinate and host games with anyone who's looking for some casual Commander games. So I think a Discord server would be one of the simplest and most effective ways to improve the quality of the channel's content. Now, the second thing I'm looking to do early this year is to set up a Patreon to further support the channel. I've had a couple of requests to do this already, which is really awesome. I appreciate that so much. As far as Patreon membership perks, I would probably use the membership to control deck build requests, for example. Right now, if I get a request to build around a specific commander or strategy, I just kind of do it if I want to, which is pretty much, if I think it's unconventional enough and if I think it's feasible. But I would like to bring some more structure to these requests, and I think it'll be really important as the channel grows. Of course, I can still build deck text for any request, whether it's from a patron or not, but I would give a higher priority to patron requests. And if I wasn't sure how to build what a patron was looking for, I could work with them to figure out how to move forward with it. I'd also like to be able to use Patreon to run polls to help guide future content. I've got some other plans for Patreon too. I haven't really finalized them enough yet to talk about. So for now, let's get into some of the longer term plans for the channel. These are some things I want to start later this year if there's enough channel growth to support it. And the first one is giveaways, because sometimes people like free things. Now, to be very upfront, I always want to put the channel content first. And for me, that means sharing new ways to play or think about Magic the Gathering's objectively best format. So I don't have any plans to just spam you guys with giveaways every week or anything, just to drive up views and subs or anything. But it is something I'd like to do occasionally. I haven't decided on the specifics yet, but for now I'm considering more collector type prizes, like collector boosters and secret layers. I might do smaller giveaways that are open to everyone, and maybe some that are just for patrons. Now, my long-term goal is to do some giveaways that support charities. I was actually kind of hesitant to start this channel, to be honest, because I wanted to do something that would create some positive value for society through the content creation. And sure, Magic the Gathering, we can say, I've heard a lot of people that say, Magic the Gathering has been a really positive influence in their life. But I really wanted something a little more direct in terms of the impact that I could have. But I just wasn't sure how to use content creation towards that type of impact. And then I realized, I think I know Magic pretty well, and I really like to build these unconventional commander decks that I just don't see anywhere else. So this was an area where I thought that I could contribute something new. And so far it's been really great. Of course, not every aspect of content creation is enjoyable and it's a lot of work, but I definitely really enjoy it. And I can see myself doing this, into the foreseeable future. And even better, if I can use this work for some direct and positive impact on society beyond, just for those of us that like to play Magic, that'll really help me be able to say that, what I'm doing here isn't just to make me feel good, but it's also providing some tangible value. So that's one of my major goals right now, is to grow the channel so that I'll be able to do some of those giveaways where the proceeds can go to some helpful causes. Now, in terms of the channel's content, I've been producing a lot of deck techs. I think these have been pretty cool ways to, show some unconventional commander deck designs. And that's, that's kind of what I like most about the format, is this deck design, this really openness that you get in Commander to build whatever you want, especially if you're playing casually. But I would also like to create a larger variety of content as well. At first, because, there's a lot of deck building ideas that I'd like to communicate, and some of them are more overarching. They're not necessarily tied to a specific commander or a specific strategy, and so it would be hard to cover those types of topics in deck techs. Also because I'd like to be able to release content more frequently, and I would have a hard time doing that with deck techs just because it takes a lot of time to make those. There's a lot of research and deck building and play testing that goes into those. And I think to be able to release content more frequently, I would have to have something that's, to be honest, quicker to produce to put in between the deck tech videos. So again, I'd like to make some other types of commander-oriented content as well. I've done a few, different guide videos. Like I did a video about the mutate mechanic in Commander, or sagas, companions, and a few of those videos have been fairly successful. Many of them have not. So I'm still trying to figure out, what kind of content can I produce that is of value, and how do I overlap that with what people want to see. So you'll definitely see some experimentation with different types of videos in 2022, not just deck techs, but definitely let me know in the comments if there's any specific type of video or alternative content that you would like to see. The only exception I'll bring up right now is that I don't have any plans at this time to do gameplay videos. Again, I'm really much more interested in the deck building aspect of the game than actually the gameplay, and so that's where I'd like to keep my focus right now. So those are some of the things that I want to do in 2022 with this channel. And definitely let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on this intended trajectory for the channel. If there's anything I mentioned that you are interested in seeing, or maybe something I mentioned that you don't want to see. Or, is there something that you want to see that I didn't mention? But that's all I've got for today. Thanks everyone again for your continued support, and look forward to see what happens for us in 2022.